Okay, this is a Houston robbery. This guy in the black is trying to rob the guy in the blue. But the guy in the blue ain't giving it up. This is why they pick on white folk, man. This video show you why they pick on white folk, man. Brothers is hard targets, man. See, a brother, man, you gonna have to shoot a brother, man. Brother like, man, I'm from the same place you from, cuz. You really want this $11, man, you gonna have to fight for it. Look at how close he came to shooting that guy in the head. He tried to shoot him in the head, but missed. Wow. He missed. That brother. And this is every day. I wonder why this isn't being called an anti-black attack. Stop black hate, man. I wonder what the numbers on this is like. Because the numbers in New York, the numbers on anti-Asian attacks in New York are up 40% from, I think, 8 last year to like, I don't know. No, I think it was like 20 something last year. Now it's like 48 this year. Something crazy. They up some percent. I gotta look at the numbers. I ain't done a story on that in a minute. But they up XYZ percent. From like 20 attacks last year to 40 this year. How many attacks, anti-black attacks, you think there are in a city like Houston? How many times you think this happened in Houston a year? That brother's lucky, man. That guy was trying to blow his head off. And that's why I tell you, man, that's why they use a gun. That's why they bring a gun. They bring a gun because if you don't give it up, they can punish you for it. They threaten you. The gun is to threaten you. You had to get his money up, or I'm going to use this thing. Well, what you think will happen if you don't give it up? And everything's being caught on camera, and it's not making things happen less. You would think that cameras being everywhere, that everything's caught on camera, man. Everything is caught on camera. You would be thinking that we would have seen a precipitous drop in these incidents. No dice. They're getting worse. They're getting worse.
So tonight, a teen left lying in the street, beaten up over his sneakers.
And a UPS driver didn't think twice before jumping in when he saw that teen was in trouble. CBS 2's Corey James has the exclusive story.
This violent attack in Chelsea unfolding last Friday. 2 people in black seen chasing a teenager down to the ground, then punching and kicking him before...
They almost had it right. Let me fix that for you. Not 2 people in black. Rather, it was 2 black people. There, I fixed it.
Beaten up over his sneakers.
And a UPS driver didn't think twice before jumping in when he saw that teen was in trouble. CBS 2's Corey James has the exclusive story.
This violent attack in Chelsea unfolding last Friday. 2 people in black seen chasing a teenager down to the ground, then punching and kicking him before taking off with his Nike Air Force Ones. But first on scene was not your ordinary responder. This time, a UPS driver delivering a helping hand for the victim and words for the suspects.
I yelled back, "Really? That's all you want? You wanted the sneakers?"
Christopher McCall is the man in brown leaning over the 17-year-old who was losing consciousness near 23rd Street and 7th Avenue.
He said, I can't breathe. And I said, you can't breathe. And he said, I'm a diabetic.
Surveillance video shows McCall then using one of his packages to prop the young man's head so that he could get better oxygen.
I was like, just stay there. Just stay there. We're going to call an ambulance. I was telling everybody, somebody please call an ambulance.
And that somebody was a young woman who happened to capture this picture of photos showing McCall standing with a banana in his hand, given to him by another New Yorker stepping in to help the teenager whose sugar was dropping.
Something got to be done about these anti-black attacks, man. God. Dog. I would venture to say there's more anti-black attacks in every city every day than there are anti-Asian attacks countrywide for the year. Who agrees with me on that? That every major city, New York, Miami, Atlanta, Chicago, New Orleans, Houston, DC, Baltimore. Every major city, there's more anti-black attacks in one day, per day, than there are nationwide anti-Asian attacks per year. Left this brother on the ground in diabetic shock. I bet he wish it was a cop around, man. His brother could have died, man. If these people didn't think fast and get him a banana. Now that's racist, though. Why they give him a banana? Why they couldn't have gave him an orange? What they trying to say? We monkeys? Well, there's more to the story than that. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App, light that super chat up. Let's do like Kevin Samuels, man. Let's put Kevin Samuels to shame. Let's prove that Negroes don't only hit the Cash App when somebody making them feel good by saying stuff to black women that they ain't got the heart to say to the black women in their life. Let's prove that black people like other things besides that. You know damn well y'all can't talk to the black women in y'all like the way he talked to them women on this show. So make sure you hit that super chat over here, man. Because this real news. This gonna really happen to you. You ain't never gonna talk to none of them sisters in your life the way he talked to them sisters on his show. But this could be you on the ground. With your barefoot, that could easily be you. That guy, you got 1,000 times better chances this being you than you telling some sister she fat and you ain't gonna be her kid's stepdaddy before you got the draw, before you even smashed. You ain't even smashed yet. You telling her you ain't gonna be her kid's stepdaddy. Hello? Hello? Damn, she hung up. Make sure hit that like button, that PayPal, that Cash App. Check out my series. I'll help you out. How to be the thug women love without ever going to jail. Check out that series. Tell me, put a comment in the comment section. I'll drop the link.
Surveillance video shows McCall then using one of his packages to prop the young man's head so that he could get better oxygen.
I was like, just stay there. Just stay there. We're going to call an ambulance. I was telling everybody, somebody please call an ambulance.
And that somebody was a young woman who happened to capture this picture of photos showing McCall standing with a banana in his hand, given to him by another New Yorker stepping in to help the teenager whose sugar was dropping.
I called 911. It was amazing to see New Yorkers come together rather than just walk by. He was very heroic. He jumped in and handled it like it was his own kid.
He was a nice looking young man. You know, and that was just like, he could have been dead. There was no stopping. It just looked like they just didn't have no remorse or regard for life. And they would have finished it over some sneakers.
Now, if you're a member of this channel, faithful member, and you watch all the videos, you will know that in the last few days, we've seen several police chiefs. The one in Beverly Hills and the one in Providence, Rhode Island, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 2 police chiefs in the last few days say the exact same thing that this black UPS driver just said.
Been dead. There was no stopping. It just looked like they just didn't have no remorse or regard for life. And they would have finished it over some sneakers.
NYPD detectives arrested both suspects the next day, 17 and 16-year-old boys who officers say are now facing charges of robbery and possession of stolen property. For now, McCall is just thankful he was there at the right time, and he says he is not done helping the teen who is expected to recover.
And we'll make him a UPS driver if he keep moving forward.
A promise from a UPS driver whose heart is just as big as a smile.
Salute to this brother, man. Salute to this brother. Bravo, brother. This a high value man to me. This a high value man. Who would you rather have in a situation? Some nigga in a Armani suit with some $1,000 Prada shades on and some Giorgio Bertinis on? Well, this brother that ain't afraid to walk up while you getting beat up by some hooligans and willing to help you out and stay in your life even after the incident. Brothers like this don't get enough. Well, they don't get any. Honestly, your favorite pro-black. I have some favorite pro-blacks. I listen to pro-black. Y'all, anybody that know me, make sure you tune into the live streams on Ock Nation TV and Living Room Gangster. Some days I do it on Living Room Gangster. Some day I do it on Ock Nation TV. But I try to go live as much as possible. So make sure you subscribe to those channels so you catch my live streams. And we chop it up, man. We just talk, just chop it up. Not necessarily talking about news stories, but talking about everything in general. Wherever y'all want to take it. And you guys know that I listen to the sector. I know the sector just as good as all of y'all. I know the sector. I listen to everybody in the sector and on the margins of the sector, the black sector of YouTube. Okay? And nobody talks about brothers like this. None of the pro-blacks. All they do is talk about racist white people, which is very hard to find. So they gotta make up stuff, and then they gotta talk about the system and the institutions, and because they can't find enough actual incidents of white people even caring about niggas, nakers. They gotta make up stuff and complain about everything. They'll never talk about a brother like this. Salute, brother. Salute to this brother, man. This the only channel that will salute brothers like this. It's the only channel that'll highlight little kids that are doing great things in the community. Starting businesses. Going to college at 14. Alive. This brother got killed by police. Now, yeah, this brother got killed by cops. He'd definitely be talked about. But I love brothers like this. Salute to this brother and everything he's done in the last few days, and everything and what he did in the moment, man. Salute to this brother, man. I salute you. We at Ock Nation salute you, man. Even though you're not going to get one YouTube video made about you, brother. I salute you. And think about it. I hate myself, they say. And I salute you. But you get the double salute. I don't even like myself. Because I talk about black on black crime. But I salute you. And it seemed like you got a problem with black on black crime too, or you wouldn't have stepped in. Because I'm sure your presence kept them from stripping everything off that boy and leaving him naked in the street. Salute, brother. Salute. Christopher McCall, you're a true American hero. High value man. I guarantee you married, got a woman, got a bunch of kids, ain't worried about none of this other BS. Salute to you, brother. Salute. I can't salute you enough, man.
Right now at 10, breaking news. Another local child struck by gunfire.
An individual with a firearm decided to pull this firearm and shoot on an innocent family.
Fox 5 with the latest on the attack on a mother and child. Plus, more masks are coming off. The latest county to announce restriction rollbacks. And the rules about ordering alcohol to go are changing. Your news starts right now. We're going to start the 10 with breaking news coming out of the district where a mother and child are in critical condition after being shot outside of their own home.
Now, this happened shortly before 7 o'clock in the Logan Circle area of Northwest D.C. Lauren DeMarco is live at the scene with more. Lauren,
this is not supposed to happen in Logan Circle. Maybe Shaw. Maybe Shaw. Certain parts of Shaw. But Logan Circle supposed to be a little bit far to the west, too far to the west, and too towards downtown area for this to be happening. But crime is starting to seep into areas where it hasn't, because it's just so much of it. These niggas have lost their mind in Washington, D.C.
The 10 with breaking news coming out of the district where a mother and child are in critical condition after being shot outside of their own home.
Now, this happened shortly before 7 o'clock in the Logan Circle area of Northwest D.C. Lauren DeMarco is live at the scene with more. Lauren, what prompted the shooting?
Well, this is just unthinkable, right? Parents and their 2 children standing outside of their row home, enjoying the beautiful weather in this Logan Circle neighborhood this evening, when a man came up. They got into some kind of argument, according to police, over a rental scooter. The man then pulled out a gun and shot the mother and one of the children. Now, I'm standing here along P Street, Northwest.
So what we got in D.C., and I'm sure if you live in a major city, you have these rental scooters. And, you see people buzzing all around town. It's good because you can get somewhere. You come up with your phone. It got a little app. You buzz. You do what you do on the app. You pay for however much block of time you want, and you boop it, and then it unlocks, and you can drive it. And then you gotta leave it somewhere. You can leave it anywhere on the street, and that's how people know where they are by GPS. Like if you're looking for a scooter, you just go on the app, and it tells you where every scooter in the area is. If they're electric, so they get charged up every night. The people come out and collect them and charge them up every night and put them back on the. They have little docks and bays and everything where they keep them at. But then once you take it, you can just leave it anywhere. And there's such a great thing for people that just want to get around town and don't want to use public transportation or don't want to use a car or want to call an Uber. You just hop on one of these scooters and you get where you go, and once you get there, you just leave it right there on the street. It's amazing.
Well, this is just unthinkable, right? Parents and their 2 children standing outside of their row home, enjoying the beautiful weather in this Logan Circle neighborhood this evening, when a man came up. They got into some kind of argument, according to police, over a rental scooter. The man then pulled out a gun and shot the mother and one of the children. Now, I'm standing here along P Street Northwest. Right over my shoulder here along 10th Street is where this happened. D.C. Police Chief Robert Conti and Mayor Muriel Bowser spoke to us here just a short time ago. They say after firing multiple shots at this family, the man then pulled on a ski mask over his face and took off running, they believe, in the direction of Rhode Island Avenue. The mother and one of their children, a 4-year-old boy, according to the local ANC commissioner here, were both shot. Witnesses told me that they saw 6 officers running as they carried the woman to a vehicle to get her to the hospital. It's described as just a gut-wrenching scene. Chief Conti says both the mother and son are in critical condition tonight.
When you see the mayor and the police chief on the scene, a lot of times that's either just a really absurd crime that's gripped attention, or it's in a place where crime doesn't usually happen. Crimes like this. So you have a lot of, white liberals getting mugged and things over there. I think the victims are white, just from the neighborhood. And, I drove through this neighborhood today. Just breezed on through it. I ain't stop or nothing, but it's a white liberal bastion. They're like out and about, like it's the sun's out, the COVID restrictions are down, they're out there. I think this woman is white. I think the kid's white. We already know the perpetrator. Like, you don't even have to ask. Like, you know who the gunman was. But I think the victims were white. I just do. Just from that neighborhood. I can't see a sister and her kids being around there, and then a sister and her kids using those things, the scooters and all this. From my experience as a Washingtonian, lifetime Washingtonian, mother born and raised in Washington, D.C. Of course, I was born overseas, but then came to Washington, D.C. as a child. I think that the victims are white. We'll see. I'll update you guys once I find out.
Chief Conti says both the mother and son are in critical condition tonight.
There was a dispute in the block between these individuals, and this suspect fired a firearm on an unarmed family. Right now, we believe it to be an argument about where a scooter was parked in the middle of the block. Again, it's unacceptable. This individual will be held accountable for his actions. Anyone who has information, we're asking them to reach out to us to call 727-9099.
Our investigators are going to, and there were questions about looking at video. They're scouring video and any other leads that they have, including any eyewitnesses. So we want people to come forward so we can find this guy tonight.
Yeah, they're taking this very seriously. And again, this is right in the heart of this Logan Circle neighborhood. I mean, any direction you go in, there are so many popular restaurants around here. It was such a gorgeous night, so many people out and about. I think this happened just before 7 p.m. To a family who was just outside of their home here. Again, police say that they are asking local residents for video. There are a lot of those doorbell cameras around here. We asked if they have any clear description on this guy, but it's really vague right now. The police chief said that they're going to work to try to get us any video that they have to get.
Do they have any clear description of this guy? Is really vague right now. So you got the argument with a family in a bustling area. Like I told you, it's just they out. Like it's like Manhattan. It's like little trendy restaurant. Like she said, just they out buzzing around. Gotten an argument with a family. Everyone survived. They don't have a description. It's vague. What does that mean, guys? What does that mean about the race of the suspect, since it's vague? What does that mean?
I think this happened just before 7 p.m. To a family who was just outside of their home here. Again, police say that they are asking local residents for video. There are a lot of those doorbell cameras around here. We asked if they have any clear description on this guy, but it's really vague right now. The police chief said that they're going to work to try to get us any video that they have, to get it out to the public, use that to try to get this person behind bars. Back to you.
Neighbors in the Logan Circle neighborhood tell Fox 5 DC several families are ready to move out of the city after random shooting of mother and son Tuesday evening. DC Police Department Chief Conti tells shooter the Metropolitan Police Department is coming for him. This guy says, so what happened on this side of the river, and we are making a big deal about this. But if it happens in Ward 7 or 8, then it's whatever. Ward 7 and 8, that's the two blackest wards. Even though, 654 are still black as mud. But, those are like Moose, Dark Chalk, Espresso, 7 and 8. Just filled with gun violence. I think that this brother makes a great point. Or this person, whatever, the Italian guy makes a great point. But this happens all day long over in Ward 7 and 8. Literally all day long. They don't even cover it on the news. Because it's it would be redundant. It's like they wouldn't have time to talk about anything else. So they only really talk about if a kid gets shot, like in this case, a kid got shot. Or if it's just an absurd thing. Like this was just absurd. So, I think that, it would be just impossible. They don't have enough time to talk about all the shooting in Ward 7 and 8. Even if they had they got 30 minutes. What if they had 2 hours, they still wouldn't have enough time.
First tonight, a little boy and his mother, the latest victims of a senseless act of violence.
Shot by a stranger in front of their own home, in front of their family. DC's new police chief is expressing his outrage tonight.
The community demands accountability. We demand accountability. Senseless gun violence in our city is totally unacceptable. And when we find the individual that's responsible for it, we all need to make sure that that individual is held accountable for his actions.
It happened outside the family's home along 10th and P Streets, a block away from Logan Circle and feet away from an elementary school. Tonight, News 4's Shamari Stone is at the scene.
Shamari, how are the victims doing tonight?
Well, good evening. The mother and son are currently in critical condition. We learned that from Mayor Muriel Bowser and Police Chief Robert Conti. Now, it's interesting. People who live in this neighborhood, which is relatively near Logan Circle, they're asking themselves, how did a dispute allegedly involving a scooter lead to a shooting?
Because the dispute involved a Negro.
Now, it's interesting. People who live in this neighborhood, which is relatively near Logan Circle, they're asking themselves, how did a dispute allegedly involving a scooter lead to a shooting? Now, we asked Metropolitan Police Chief Robert Conti about the suspect. Chief, suppose the suspect's watching this right now at 11 o'clock. What do you say to him?
I'll say to him that the Metropolitan Police Department is coming for him. That's what I say to him. And that he should be ashamed of himself for what he did to this family tonight.
Strong words from DC Police Chief Robert Conti. Police sources close to the investigation tell me a mother, father, and their 2 young kids are playing outside their home on the 1500 block of 10th Street Northwest around 7 o'clock tonight. Suddenly, a man riding a rented scooter stops near their house. The man and the mother exchange words, have a disagreement. Then police say the suspect puts on a ski mask, pulls out a gun, and opens fire, shooting the mother and her young son. The suspect runs away.
It's devastating.
They probably didn't want him to park that scooter in front of their home. That's probably what the beef was about. Because you can leave the scooter anywhere. And they probably were like, didn't want him to leave it. Like, right. Because, you know, a lot of, you're supposed to leave the scooter standing up too. Like, they have a kickstand. And, you know, some people just throw it, leave it just, you know, laying down on the ground. They might just get off of it and just throw it on the ground. So now it's just laid right there. And maybe the mother was like, could you please put it on a kickstand, or could you, or anything she could have said. Y'all know my philosophy. Don't ask a brother to do nothing or tell him to leave nowhere. Call the police or let it go. Call the police or let it go. If you're not going to call the police, let it go. Because once you get in the conversations, it's going to go left.
Suddenly, a man riding a rented scooter stops near their house. The man and the mother exchange words, have a disagreement. Then police say the suspect puts on a ski mask, pulls out a gun, and opens fire, shooting the mother and her young son. The suspect runs away.
It's devastating. Everyone is just shocked.
ANC Commissioner Michael Eichler knows the family. He says the son is just 4 years old.
If they can't play with their children in front of their own house without being shot over an altercation, like what is that? Like where do we live?
Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Your reaction to what happened to this family?
Well, I can't say it better than the chief did. We're devastated. This family is devastated.
Now, there are police officers all throughout this neighborhood right now talking to people, going door to door, and they are reviewing surveillance cameras. There are Ring cameras in this neighborhood. Now, if you have any information about the shooting, call police. Back to you.
Shamari, this family was outside enjoying a very warm night. We have to believe that other people were out there. Are police finding any witnesses?
Well, good question. Police are talking to people in the neighborhood, and Chief Conti says that a witness told investigators that the suspect took off running near Rhode Island Avenue. Again, police are going to continue to review surveillance video, and Chief Conti says that once they find video, if they do in fact find video of this suspect, police will release it immediately.
And we will put
Live
it on.
here, Shamari Stone, News 4.
All right, when that video is available, as soon as it is, we'll be putting it on the news. Thank you, Shamari.